Good morning, friends, and welcome to yet another very interesting episode of Trans India Real People, Real Emotions. The road transport industry largely consists of small road truck operators who, according to statistics, own over 60% trucks in the country. However, many of these truck operators purchase second-hand trucks. But one of their biggest problems was getting funds to buy pre-owned trucks, especially in a marketplace which has largely been very organized. However, one company changed the scenario for the SRTOs by offering them loans for used trucks, that too with minimal paperwork. It was a transaction based more on trust than formalities. In fact, the company always believed that small truck owners are the safest and best paymasters. We are referring here to Shriram Finance, previously known as Shriram Transport Finance, and we have with us today the Executive Vice Chairman of Shriram Finance, Mr. Umesh Revankar, who tells us more about the company and its philosophy. It is very interesting that Shriram Finance not only provides finance to a much neglected sector, but is also involved in many philanthropic activities for the truckers and their families. In fact, Shriram Finance has excellent relations with many transport and trucker associations across India, through which it carries out these activities. Just to tell you a bit more about Mr. Revankar, under his astute guidance, Shriram Finance Limited has not only diversified its product portfolios, but also significantly expanded its market presence while strengthening existing footprints. Committed to preserving the brand's legacy, Mr. Revankar plays a pivotal role in driving the company's growth, emphasizing strategic initiatives, robust corporate governance, and overall business performance. He spearheads efforts to enhance stakeholder engagement and leads the risk management committee, ensuring effective risk assessment and mitigation strategies to enhance operational resilience. His leadership has been instrumental in driving Shriram Finance Limited's success and ensuring its sustained growth trajectory. Championing the creation of a conducive environment, Mr. Revankar promotes a culture of gender equality. His vision includes nurturing top leadership talent within the company and fostering an entrepreneurial spirit among all Shriram Finance Limited employees. Integral to the Shriram Group since 1987, Mr. Revankar brings more than 3 decades of experience in financial services. Throughout his tenure, he has shouldered numerous responsibilities and held key roles in the business operations of various companies within the Shriram Group. He is tirelessly working towards leveraging the lending ecosystem's vast potential to drive the nation's growth. Currently, Mr. Revankar serves as the chairman of the Finance Industry Development Council, a prominent representative body of non-banking finance companies. He is also an active member of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee of Shriram Finance Limited and oversees multiple welfare projects focusing on providing education, vocational training, and promoting healthcare facilities for economically weaker and underprivileged sections of society. A distinguished alumnus, Mr. Revankar holds an MBA in finance from Mangalore University and has completed an advanced management program at Harvard Business School. So let's get into our interaction with Mr. Umesh Revankar and capture the journey of Shriram Finance and Mr. Revankar's views on the industry and this segment in particular. Mr. Revankar, Shriram Finance recently completed 50 years. Can you tell us how this journey started?
See, basically, we came into financial services in 1974, and that's where we started in the southern part of the country. The first services what we offered was the chit fund services, where it is a cooperative credit where people come together and one of them needs credit. That's how it is a very popular instrument in southern part of India, and that's how we started with. And later on, as we gained experience and touch with the customer, then we moved on to vehicle financing in 1979, focused on truck financing to individuals.
And why this trucking segment? What attracted you to this segment?
It's basically our founder, Mr. R. Tyagarajan. He was in insurance industry, New India Assurance Industry company, and there he had contact with individual vehicle operator. And he realized that typically in India, many of the vehicle owners are individuals, and many of them operate on their own by driving the vehicle. Giving insurance to them or servicing insurance to them, he realized they are the one segment where people work on it themselves, earn and make living out of it, and they would like to keep the asset with them. They don't lose the asset. So one thing is this asset is earning by itself, and because it is earning by itself, he can repay on the vehicle, and he has to retain the vehicle. He can't lose the vehicle, and he has to put investment into the vehicle to buy the vehicle, because nobody is going to give him 100% loan. So that means he is investing his money, he is investing his time, and earning on the asset and repaying. So that makes the business is safe, and you can always depend on the customer to repay the money in time. That's one thing to say. And secondly, if you look at the India by and large, many of the 80% of the Indian population is involved in some kind of a business. They are not, India doesn't have too many job opportunities. Everyone is in some business or other. So this is one business people can, with less skill, they can get into a business and earn by himself. And many of these people are basically start as a driver.
Correct.
Then they upgrade to owner. And the large fleet operator and small fleet operator, if you look at the definition of a small road operator, which is 10 vehicle, majority of the vehicle owners today are in small road operators, because it's easy to enter, easy to within whatever the skill you have in driving or having market operation, knowledge of market operation, you can build a business model. So, and India is such a wide, deep country that you need different kind of services every time. You don't, you see, there is one business fitting everything doesn't happen. So, a person who carries the sand, a person who carries a vegetable, person who attached to mill, person who's attached to a large logistic operator, person who's carrying milk. See, they are all different operations. Right. There are so many different operations, and you need different skill sets. So there are so many people into the business, and this business is really good. One, and this also helps Indian economy to grow. And I can vouch for them, this vehicle operator, they operate at minimal cost. See, what cost you talk about, logistic cost in India being high, that's mainly due to the other cost being high, like inventory cost being high, storage cost being high, in the road not being laid out throughout the country, or road not being very good. So many other challenges. Because of that, the logistics cost is high, not because of operations. Vehicle operation in India, I still feel one of the cheapest. Indian truckers take home much lower, Indian drivers take much lower compared to anywhere in the world.
But financing SRTOs is always considered a very risky proposition, and that is also one of the reasons why you don't have many players here. How has Shriram Finance ensured that it remains safe? Or what's the trust that you have on the truckers?
Basically, Indian by nature, they don't want to be indebted. They would like to repay the loan. This is a basic instinct of any entrepreneur in India. So that is one thing, and they want the loan to be repaid and freed from the endorsement or hypothecation or whatever it is. That's one part. And the second, if you have a good reach to the customer, if you know the customer well, you can always ensure that the amount is repaid in time. When I say amount repaid in time, doesn't mean that every month he pays on due date. See, that is something which is not possible in India. They may pay maybe few
They
days
have ups
later
and downs at times.
and maybe making the part payment. So you should understand this is very important for lending to small operator, that you understand that he may not be able to pay full amount on the due date. Sometimes it will be broken, sometimes it will be later. That we need to have that kind of a compassion, to empathy of with the customer. Then only you can be in this business and continue to build the business across the country.
But given the fact that you have to reach out to so many small players, what's the kind of force or staff that you require?
No, you need large number of staff. That's true. But if the executives or if the staff whom we recruited, if they have a proper training, a proper empathy for the business, the understanding of the business, then they find it easy. And today, job is much easier. When I started my career, there was no mobile. Right. And the only way to know the customer where he is go to his house and find out. And even then, no one had telephone. So no customer of ours had a telephone at home. And the family will know about his return through somebody else. For example, I tell you, if at all, imagine you are in Mumbai, and if at all you want, those days, if at all you want to know where is your vehicle, the person, imagine your vehicle is gone to Gujarat, Ahmedabad. The person who met him, neighbor in maybe Vapi, will come and tell you that this man was at this time, this place. So, the return load also we do not know when we will get. He may have to wait for a day or two sometimes. So somebody else will pass on the information. So like that, family members also would come to know later. Today there is a mobile. So mobile, you can track the person, you know where the customer is. And many of the new vehicles also come with the feature of tracking facility. So if at all you are linked to any of the a large logistic company, then this company can track the vehicle any point of time. So today things are totally changed. So the business is much comfortable and easier than what it was in the past. But India still has a large number of individual small operator because it is a low cost. We have to understand this, because owning and maintaining the vehicle by a large corporate is not the best option, or not the cheaper. You look at example of Uber. Today, most of the Uber drivers are owner-operator. Most of the successful people, why they are owner-operator? Because they know their vehicle, they maintain the vehicle, and they pay. And there is a technology to help you to get the business, track your vehicle, and get your money on time. So I think when technology helps the individual, you don't have to be large corporate to be successful in the business. So I think India will still continue to have large number of individual operators. And probably I feel efficiency also will improve as technology helps this individual to be on time, or maintaining the vehicle, or maybe even improving his own revenue by getting the load at right time, because there are a lot of apps today which helps in getting a load in right time. So I think things are going to be this way, and because there are always multiple way of vehicle ownership. If you look at Europe, many of these vehicles are corporate owned, and many of these people employ drivers. Everything is regulated. I understand that around 60-65% is corporate or large fleet operator owned.
That's right.
But US it is different. US still it is around 50-50.
50-50, right.
In India it is around 65-35. 65 are individual operator and 35 large operator. You asked me, with high cost of ownership, whether individuals are still would like to own the vehicle, or whether it will be easier for large corporate to own the vehicle. Right now, I still feel the individual operator would be able to maintain the vehicle at much cheaper cost. But if the vehicle are going to be high in technology, and if the individuals find it difficult to maintain the vehicle, there can be some change. We do not know how things are going to shape. But as it is, I feel individual operators actually keep the cost low because they are able to maintain their vehicle,
Right.
and they don't have to go through the surveillance or parking place, which are all expensive. Right. You create a parking place, you keep a maintenance. For a corporate, for that, they would prefer somebody handling it, outsourced rather than
Outsource it.
they owning it.
We will continue our interaction with Mr. Umesh Revankar after this very short break. You are watching Trans India, real people, real emotions.
स्कूल बच्चों का दूसरा घर होता है, और इस घर का ख्याल रखना एक प्रिंसिपल के लिए आसान नहीं। पढ़ाई के साथ बच्चों का आराम, उनकी सेफ्टी, छोटी से छोटी चीज़ मेरी प्रायोरिटी है। वैसे ही स्कूल बस चुनना भी एक बहुत बड़ा डिसीजन था। पेरेंट्स का पीस ऑफ माइंड, मैनेजमेंट का भरोसा और बजट साथ लिए चलना पड़ता है। इसीलिए कभी कभी फर्म भी बनना पड़ता है। आखिर कोई अपने बच्चों की जिम्मेदारी मुझे दे रहा है, तो कोई बजट की। लेकिन इतने सालों में एक चीज़ समझ आई है, अगर सही डिसीजन लें तो सबसे ज़्यादा प्यार भी प्रिंसिपल को ही मिलता है।
चुनिए महिंद्रा क्रूजियर स्कूल बसेस। यह है मजबूत ट्यूबुलर स्ट्रक्चर, एंटी लॉक ब्रेकिंग, एंटी रोल बार, पैराबोलिक सस्पेंशन, आईमैक्स, वाइडर सीट्स और बेस्ट इन क्लास माइलेज के साथ बच्चों के लिए सेफ और बाकी सब के लिए सबसे स्मार्ट चॉइस, महिंद्रा क्रूजियर स्कूल बस।
Welcome back to Trans India, real people, real emotions. We are in conversation today with Mr. Umesh Revankar, Executive Vice Chairman at Shriram Finance. But I mean, does that also increase the exposure for Shriram Finance? Because back in the days, you were financing a truck which was costing maybe 7 to 8 or 10 lakhs. Today, a new truck is costing, a large truck is costing 40 lakh upwards. Doesn't that increase the exposure?
Yes, right. See, we have been predominantly lending to smaller ticket. For example, used vehicle for that matter. See, most of the individuals, they buy a used vehicle, especially in the smaller towns.
But even that has become expensive with,
Yes, it's around, second-hand vehicle is around 20 lakhs today, 5 years old. And LCVs, second-hand is around 10-12 lakhs. But 3 to 4 lakhs margin money is something which they can always manage. Because when a driver wants to become owner, he would have created some savings.
Right.
And family members also will support him, because one thing we have to understand, in an Indian context, you would prefer to be a owner than a driver. So entrepreneurship is something which runs into Indians. I have seen there is a pride associated being an owner rather than a driver. And maybe in the international market, when I see, he would like to call himself as a captain or a pilot, that kind of a fancy word, and and of course he will also get paid on par with white collar employees. So in India, there's a big difference. Even I don't think the drivers would be paid on par with white collar job. But
course not.
yeah, there is, if you are a high skilled driver, when you are driving a tractor trailer or a cylinder, especially
Reefer
oxygen
trucks
cylinder
or
and all,
these kind of things.
they do earn well. They do earn quite well. But whether it is on par with the white collar job, I don't know. I don't think
That
so.
that is debatable.
Debatable. But yes, there is improvement. There is also shortage of driver, and that is something we need to understand. It is because of stigma being a driver. People are reluctant to become driver. Otherwise, I think people are now, roads are better, and from
Trucks are better.
trucks are better. From next year, April, you'll have
Air
AC
conditioned
cabins,
cabin, yes.
So I think it is going to be a better life. Their efficiency will be better, less fatigue, less accident. I really welcome the option of having air condition for the truck, especially long distance truck operators. It will improve their life, and it will improve their efficiency.
But do you think that will also help address the issue of driver shortage?
Driver shortage, see right now what's happening. You look at Maharashtra or western part of India, Gujarat, most of the driver would be from the eastern part of the country. Like people will be coming from Jharkhand, Odisha, Bihar. Because here there is a better salary or better wages for them. Because, and here shortage is there. So there is a migration. So whenever you see that there is a shortage, people come from some other place to replace or find, to get that job. I think that will continue. There will be a migration, and that will help to address the shortage of driver in a particular place. Whether it is going to continue forever, I cannot say that, but I can definitely watch that their salaries will improve, wages, overall emoluments will improve, incentive will improve, they will have better quality of life. And that's very important. And maybe the government also is trying to ensure that they are a little better educated to understand the motor vehicle driving discipline, understand all RTO signs. There is some attempt to improve the quality of driver. So as the expectation is, imagine you require minimum 10th or 12th standard with some kind of a high skilled driver, you have to pay them well. So that itself will give some kind of a dignity.
Things will get better.
Yes, that's what I feel.
Shriram Finance has been doing a lot for the driver community. Can you tell us a little bit about these initiatives?
See, we have been engaged in driver training program for nearly 10 years with various, even before CSR coming into the picture, we started developing a small way driver training program. It's basically to improve the driving skills. It is not to give some freshers to become a driver. It is basically to existing driver getting, improving his skills and able to manage newer trucks, bigger trucks. So these are all the, and also to help him in understanding how to have a first aid, some kind of yoga, some kind of how to relax himself. These are also part of the training. It's not just driver.
Yes.
So we want to improve the quality of the driver and his job, and that has helped many. And over the period we have been doing it. In fact, during the COVID, it is so happened that the Ministry of Skill Development, they wanted drivers who are specialized in driving the oxygen cylinder. And we were immediately, our team approached and helped in training these drivers. It requires around 45 days of training, and people have to leave their existing job and come and then get skilled. No, that becomes a challenge. So we did it. So we are happy that we became, we recognized and we were asked to do that, and we have been doing it every year. And I can tell you that that will continue to happen. If we would not have increased this scale in a big way, because we don't want to commercialize everything.
Right.
These are all something which we want to give back to society, not to really, meet the CSR target, but we'll continue to do that.
Plus, you're also doing a lot for the drivers' families as well. Train.
Yeah, just I would like to add this. We are working with the Logistics Skill Council of Government of India, where the advanced training program, driver training program, which we undertake, helps the customer, helps the driver especially, that his wages will go up by around 20-25% straight away because of the certification. And this certification is equivalent to 12th pass, or you can call it a diploma, so that he has that kind of a appreciation, and salary will definitely improve. And plus, he need not go for renewal. There's automatic renewal for him. So he need not every time go for renewal of a driving license. These are three big advantages, and we would like to expand this program beyond that. And beyond this, what we are doing is we are also taking care. We are having a lot of health camps, and we have moving our what you call vehicles, mobile vehicles, vehicle clinics, which helps not just him, it is family. We don't really segregate people. We go to the transport area where many of the driver families stay and do free health checkup. We have done all India in many centers. Maybe we would have nearly reached 1 million of a patient. We would have, cannot say patient, but we have checked
drivers, yes.
Driver family fraternity.
Right.
We have
20 lakh beneficiaries till now.
Yeah, so around 20 lakh beneficiaries we have covered across the country. And that is something is added to the customers.
And that's an ongoing process. That again keeps
and
going on.
we are also in scholarship programs. It's a small scholarship program where many of this driver family, what happens is, since the breadwinner driver is always on duty, 20-25 days he is on vehicle and hardly comes back once or twice a month. The children after a certain age, they get out of school, or there is no focus on their education. So we decided that around 10-12 age, when they are likely to stop going to this, that is the time we need to address this. So we started giving scholarship from 8th standard onwards.
Okay.
So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 years, we give a small scholarship so that he's enthused to go back to school. So because he gets a scholarship. Once he reaches 12th, then we know that he's on his own.
Right.
18 years, then he can decide what he should do. Of course, we have extended this to higher education also. We are not restricted, but this is something which we have been doing regularly for nearly 8 to 9 years now. And higher studies also, we started maybe around 3-4 years. We are trying to see how much we can improve on. We initially said this only for professional courses, but we are trying to see how much more
Widen the scope.
But see, all those things need a lot of bandwidth and
a lot of groundwork as well.
You can't just do it across.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sir, finally, how do you see the future of the SRTOs from here on, and what is Shriram Finance's plan going to be to reach out to them?
I believe in India, these SRTOs will remain and become more important going forward, because once there is a technology which helps you, then whether it is SRTO who is owning the truck and driving operation, or it is the logistic companies operating, doesn't make any difference. So I feel SRTO will play a very important role. Of course, you can call them in a different name. Now, somebody may say that I have appointed a contractor and he has to put 10 vehicle under me.
Right.
He is nothing but SRTO. That
Correct.
person who puts 10 vehicle is an SRTO who manages operation of around 8 to 10 vehicle, where he and his family may be running 2-3 vehicle and other drivers will be running other vehicle. That's how it works. And there is attention of the entire family in maintaining the vehicle. So I think in India, that will be a requirement of the small operator being there all the time. And there also will be spread across the country. See, length and breadth and depth of the country is so large.
India
So,
vast.
our presence may not be very big in metros. I don't really see metros maybe a different style of functioning. But if you go to smaller towns, you will see that you just go to Nashik.
I mean, that is where the SRTOs actually are.
And you go to any
small town actually.
Small towns. So many of these truck operators are all individuals, and so, they would have taken up this profession because this is something which they can understand. And a person who has some skills in driving can become an earning member or become breadwinner of the family. So that's how it keeps on happening. So the younger generation today, they understand how to operate mobile, so they are digitally connected, and they can track their vehicle, they track their operation. Family members can track them. So there is a lot of convenience being built in the business. I think Shriram will continue to focus on small operators, and we believe that we have a role to play there, and we would like to continue and expand our business further.
So, one last question. Do you see the interest rates coming down for the used truck segment?
It has already come down. I think Shriram can take the credit for doing it, because imagine when we were lending initially, the interest rates were anywhere between 30 to 40% for buying a second-hand vehicle, maybe more if you are driver to owner, first time becoming owner, it will be further more. It is today come down to around 15-16%. So because Shriram has grown, Shriram has created awareness that the individual operators are good. We created the awareness, nobody knew about it. We built the portfolio for banks, we built the portfolio for so many people. Internationally we are known today because of our service. So today everybody is wanting to do this business because we made it look good, and we built the discipline in the customer. See, ultimately customers have to understand that you need to be paying on time, you need to build your track record, then you will be recognized, your interest rate will become cheaper once you build a track record. Many of our customers, they upgrade and move to bank, and we are happy about it. There's nothing to really, feel unhappy about it, because after building their business for 10 to 15, 20 years, and once they have more than 10 vehicles, they will go to banks, and we are quite happy with the contribution we are making.
You bought them where they are today.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir. That was our conversation with Mr. Umesh Revankar, Vice Chairman at Shriram Finance. It is very clear that Shriram Finance goes beyond just financing the small truckers, but also cares for their well-being and upliftment. The unique relation that Shriram Finance has built with transport associations across the country is a huge asset for the company. We can only hope that Shriram Finance will only grow and continue to support a segment that deserves better. You have been watching Trans India, Real People, Real Emotions. We will be back again next week with another interesting interaction. Until then, stay safe and drive safe. Jai Hind.